Tearing off wool from a sheep is a bit like pulling off clothes. It's intense. Do you think it's quite satisfying? Today, in just 3 minutes, I'll show you how wool turns into clothing. First, we have sheep shearing. Workers use oversized clippers, and with a single push from front to back, off it comes, without a sound. It looks quite relaxing, and the sheep seem to enjoy it. There's also the method we see at the start of the video, where the wool is pulled off directly. This isn't done forcefully. The sheep are given a special protein injection that affects the wool's growth, causing it to naturally shed after about a month, allowing the wool to be removed in one go. Next, the dirty, greasy wool is placed into hot water to be cleaned, removing grime and impurities. Interestingly, the wastewater from this process can be refined to produce a byproduct called lanolin, which is said to be valuable and quite expensive, costing several pounds per gram. Once washed and dried, the wool is still in clumps, so it's passed through a carding process to straighten it out. The wool runs through metal rollers and comb-like devices, which stretch and smooth it, removing large impurities and shorter fibers. As the wool is layered on the rollers, it forms continuous strands of wool. After this, the wool undergoes hand carding, which provides a clearer view of the process. A clump of wool is placed into the rollers, where the teeth of the combs straighten it neatly, and the layers are combined into one long wool strand. The next stage is spinning, where the wool strands are repeatedly twisted and stretched, gradually thinning them out and spinning them into yarn. If the hand-carded strands are short, it's not a problem. During spinning, as long as you keep feeding in more wool, the yarn will continue to form. Similar to how straw is twisted into ropes, the principle is the same. With the yarn ready, it's time to knit the wool. If you're hand knitting, I wouldn't know where to start. But if you're using a knitting machine, it's much easier. Circular or flat knitting machines create a looped structure, which is then woven into fabric. Woven fabric, on the other hand, is formed by interlacing horizontal and vertical threads. Finally, let's talk about dyeing. Whether it's loose wool, wool strands, spun yarn, fabric, or even finished garments, all can be dyed. The wool is submerged in water with dye, allowing it to fully absorb the color deep into its fibers. Once the woolen garment is knitted, it goes through washing, softening, drying, and ironing. And that's how clumps of wool turn into luxurious, valuable woolen jumpers.